What do you want to be when you grow up? A question everyone is asked as a kid. But do you remember the last time you were asked that question recently and you were just expected to know? As we are all quickly thrown into adulthood, it may feel like all of our decisions define us. But we have to remember, we're all just a work in progress. Transitioning from high school to college life can be scary. With a whole new world in front of you, it's easy to get lost in it all. But it's important to embrace your new chapter by experiencing and living through every moment that will soon become a memory.
I feel like when I think of my freshman year, I just laugh because so much happened, so much was going on. It was such a big transition in my life from moving away so far and, starting fresh without my family. So I feel like just one thing that I would give advice for incoming college students is try to keep your positivity high. Try to remind yourself that right now it can be really, really difficult and challenging, but you are going to make it one way or another. It doesn't matter if you have to jump over 100 obstacles or go through so many hurdles in your life. You have a goal, you can make it happen. The only person standing in your way is yourself. So I feel like just admiring who you are in the moment through all of your phases in life is so important. No matter if your phase is messy, no matter if it's the most perfect thing you've experienced, everything becomes a memory.
Here's my girls playing.
The moment our adulthood meets reality can feel overwhelming. With the college experience comes many trials and tribulations, sometimes in the most unexpected ways. However, these twists and turns can lead us to discoveries about ourselves we wouldn't have found otherwise.
Through college, I've definitely done a lot of self-discovery. I think something I've discovered by myself is that not only do I love communications is my major, so I loved getting to know more people, but also I've dived in deeper into the passions I've always had. And so one of those being I've dived in deeper into drag. And I feel like drag has definitely become something that's now I can't live without. Drag is how I define it is blurring the gender lines of masculinity and femininity and just creating art in any way you interpret it. I remember my first performance was at the double ASU A50 night market, and I remember doing it. I was so nervous. I was so scared, timid, and then when I got on stage, the audience's reaction, everyone was so excited, over the top, and cheering for me. And that was one of the first moments where I was oh my God, I'm being my authentic self, and people are applauding me for it instead of being disdained of it. So it felt very liberating.
With every chapter that we go through in life, we reach a point where it's time to start a new one full of uncertainty and mystery. The end of college marks the beginning of a new world for college graduates, as the structure of the classroom suddenly disappears, and you are now in full control of what happens next.
Terrifying. But there's some stuff that is exciting too. I'm excited to meet new people someday and, future relationships, and I also want to have my own dog one day, which is something I've always wanted to have, my own dog, and just being able to travel and see the world and stuff like that. That's exciting too, but also that fear of the unknown and not knowing truly what's next and not having full control over it. That's kind of what freaks me out a little bit, because we're all in the same boat at the end of the day. To an extent, we're all terrified of the future, and we're also excited at the same time, but you're never really alone when it comes to this situation. And, I just say, just talking to other people that are in the same boat as you, it helps bring me a little bit of relief. Well, my major has changed several times since I've gotten to college. That is the number one thing that's changed the most about me. If you would have told me coming into college that I was planning to go to law school, I would probably laugh at you, because I would say, I don't like reading, I don't like writing. There's no chance I would ever do something like that, but here I am now studying for the LSAT, getting ready for all that. This chapter of our life is going to be completely different than the next, and I think that fear of the unknown and the uncertainty that comes from, adulthood versus, being a college kid, it's intimidating to think about. It's like the real world, and it's something that we've all known was going to happen, but now it's finally happening, you know? There's no structure anymore. Like, now it's kind of like, you know, a free world. You get to decide who you want to be, you know? And that's pretty cool.
No matter what stage of life you're in, whether you're living a life you've always known, or maybe you're embarking on a journey to find a life that's better than you could ever imagine. As long as you consider yourself a work in progress, you're exactly where you're meant to be.
I'll record it. And then you use Wyndham with the gun in her hand to make your story possible. Isn't that right?
This is a good spot.